Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we are going to be talking about all of the things that no one tells you about before you get pregnant, or at least all of the things that I didn't know would happen or didn't expect to happen before I got pregnant. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, make sure you subscribe, and let's get started. So the first thing, and I think you expect it to happen but you don't actually expect it to happen, is people will continuously give their opinions about you, about your pregnancy, about your baby, about your relationship, about everything. I've had a lot of this from everybody, and do you know what? It was bound to happen. Look, like, I was prepared, but I didn't realize how much of it exactly that I was actually going to get. And it's not just opinions. People are like, oh, you really should have a bigger bump. Or like, people are like, oh my god, I'm not sure on that baby name. Or it's, oh, I really don't think you should be eating this or doing this. Like, constantly. And you genuinely don't think it's going to happen as much. I would say at least once a day, if not more than that, I get that during my pregnancy. And I'm sure everyone can relate to that. Like, but it's actually resulted in me telling people less about my pregnancy, and it's resulted in me telling people less about the baby. And it's actually quite difficult because, you know, you want to tell people, you want to tell people everything that you're experiencing, but because some people just can't keep their mouth closed, you end up telling them less. I'm quite grateful that, you know, most people in my life have, you know, kept themselves out of it and kept themselves out of mine and Joseph's business. However, there are some people that still continue to give their opinions, and there are some people that, you know, will just have a comment regardless of like what you do, what you say. And I think people sometimes forget that it's not their baby. The next thing that I have wrote down that I wish people told me about before I got pregnant is the cramping. Holy shit. Everyone talks about morning sickness, and I mean, everyone talks about morning sickness. They talk about like the nausea and stuff like that. No one talks about how badly you cramp. Like, I'm talking period cramp sensations. I thought, you know, 9 months of no periods, no cramping, I'm literally gonna have the best time ever. No, I'm getting the cramping just without the period. I have been cramping so badly, and apparently it is so common, yet I did not hear this. Obviously, if it is constantly happening and it is, you know, becoming more and more frequent, definitely go see your doctor about it. But in terms of like, you'll be standing there and next thing you get the worst pang of pain on like whatever side it is, and you cannot do anything to like stop it, because if you don't know when you're pregnant, you can't take painkillers. Well, you can take paracetamol, but it's really highly not recommended. I'm not kidding you. I think it was happening to me for about like 6 hours out of my day, and it was killing me. But luckily there was nothing wrong. Apparently it just happens quite often. So the next thing that I didn't expect to happen is how difficult it is to actually pick a baby's name. You have to remember, especially if you were in a relationship, or like, you know, you do have your partner or whoever the father of your child is around, and you're trying to decide a baby's name. Obviously, I think it's for most women, they have, well, I did anyways, I had a massive list on my phone of all of the baby names that I loved, that I wanted, that I was so excited by. And then when I pitched it to Joseph and vice versa, he pitched his list to me, we literally were like hitting walls left, right and center when it came to baby names. Like, I'm not kidding you. Picking a baby name when you have someone else to think about as well is the most difficult thing ever, because obviously you both have to compromise on a baby name. You're never expecting your partner to not that you're never expecting it, but you know, you want your partner to like your baby names. You think, you know, you're going in and you're like saying it with like such confidence, and then they shut you down. And it was the same for Joseph. One of Joseph's girls' names, if it was going to be a girl, was going to be called Lily, and I hated the name Lily. Like, I'm talking hated it. And again, it took him back. So yeah, picking baby names when you have a partner, is it more difficult than you think, because both of you are going to disagree on so many. We just settled on a girl's name if it's a girl. We have our boy's name ready to go. Girls' names, we went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. That's another thing I wish people would have told me before I got pregnant. So the next thing, it is such a shock to me, and I don't know why, but there's a constant change in your potential due date. I've had 3 different due dates given to me, and I'm actually still waiting on my definite confirmation one. So the first one, when we went for the early scan, they were like, based on your period, you're looking at about like start of January. But then we went for like my anomaly scan last week, and turns out I'm actually earlier than I thought I was, so they couldn't do the anomaly scan. And the anomaly scan basically measures the baby's like femur, and measures the baby's bones, muscle, head, everything like that, to get an exact pinpoint of where you are in your pregnancy, and then from then they can judge your due date. I didn't realize that, you know, it's not just the first time you go in and they tell you, oh yeah, this is your due date, that is definitely your due date, because it is not. If you are pregnant, just be prepared. Do not take your first due date as your like set in stone due date. I would recommend wait until your anomaly scan to figure out when your actual due date is. But wait until your anomaly scan to tell work that you're pregnant. Not that you're pregnant, you can tell them whenever, but wait till tell them when your due date is, because I sent off all my paperwork to my work's head office, and then it turns out Leah, that's not actually going to be your due date. So I have to now go for my next anomaly scan and then figure out when that is. So the next thing is tiredness, and how tired you will be. I don't nap. I've never napped in my life. I am not a napper. I don't like napping. I think napping is a waste of time for me. And when I tell you I nap at least once a day, I'd say up until about like week 16, I was feeling exhausted 24/7. No matter how many hours of sleep I got, I was still knackered. I can usually survive on 6-7 hours sleep. Now I have to get like at least 8, 9, 10, and even then I will still nap in between. Like, you don't realize the changes that your body's going through. You will suffer the consequences in tiredness and exhaustion. So if you are someone like myself who works in retail, just make sure you're taking constant breaks. Obviously when in retail, you know, you're constantly on your feet, you're constantly moving. The amount of times I have to sit down and work, I'm sure the people that I work with are sick of me sitting down, but I am knackered 24/7. And if it means that, you know, you can do the jobs that you need to get done sitting down, please do. Give your body the rest that it needs, because you are going through something that, you know, especially if you're a first-time parent, your body has never gone through before, so it doesn't know how to handle it. So it's using even more energy to get your body prepared. Like, my body is working around the clock 24/7, like 365 days of the year, as anyone else's is. But now that you have a baby, it is working like 10 times harder to get this baby ready for you. I don't think a lot of people actually understand the level of exhaustion that you'll go through. For the first little while that me and Joseph, when we found out we were pregnant, you know, we hadn't told a lot of people. I think we were house sitting for my nanny. Yeah, we were. And I was in bed, and I got into bed and I passed out. Like, I'm not kidding you, I literally gone in seconds. And I woke up, I'd say about 20 minutes later, half an hour, and I turned to him and he was still awake, and I just sobbed to him. I just could not stop crying, because it was getting to the point where, like, I wasn't even able to like hold a conversation with him without like falling asleep. You know, when you come home from the day and, you know, you and your partner are talking, I literally was so tired that I could not talk. I had no energy to tell him about my day. I was mute. I basically was giving him no affection, like, whatsoever. I was exhausted. He is the best that I could have ever asked for, but I felt so bad for not being able to like give him anything in terms of like even telling him about my day. And I literally just sobbed and sobbed and sobbed him one night, like I'm talking hysterical crying, because I felt so bad, because I was exhausted 24/7. I'd hit the pillow and I'd be gone. I would sleep hours and hours and hours. I'd constantly be napping. Like, he barely saw me. Like, I was physically there beside him, but I was asleep. So yeah, like, just really be prepared for that and talk to your partner about it, because you will need extra rest, and it is nothing to do with them. You're not suddenly bored of them. Your body is just knackered and you need to let it rest. Okay, and then the last thing that I wish people told you in pregnancy or before you got pregnant is how quickly your bump grows. It changes from different people to different people, and the more that I've done research into pregnancy and stuff like that, the more I have realized that your bump can grow at any rate. For the first little while, I kind of had like a bloating bump, and then you have other people that literally get a bump straight away and they're only like 12 weeks. I did not have like a proper bump for ages. Like, I am talking ages, and I was getting really upset about it because I was like, I'm so far along in pregnancy. Well, not so far along, but like I was coming up to like the halfway mark, and I was like, I don't have a bump. And then the past 2 weeks, holy shit, I have a bump. Your bump will grow at different rates. Some people don't get bumps until they're like 7 months, and you have to take it. Just take it easy on yourself. Don't be too harsh on your body. Your body is doing a lot. Again, like I said, if you are a first-time mum, the way they explain it, or the way it's been explained to me, is with your first pregnancy, your body's never done this before, so your body does not know what to do. So it does everything at like a slower rate, and it does it more intensely. Whereas with your second or third, or like however many after that, your body already knows what to do. So that's why you see people, you know, that are on their second, third, fourth, fifth, whichever many pregnancy, and they tend to get a bump a lot quicker. The hospital also said to me, if you are someone who is a lot smaller in frame, you will see your bump quicker than, you know, someone who you know, has a bit more of like body weight or like fat percentage. So yeah, so just don't put pressure on yourself. Like, your bump will come when it comes. You know, your body's under a lot of stress already. The last thing it's trying to do is, you know, make your appearance look well. It's looking after your baby first. So guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If there's anything that I missed out, or you think that I will notice when I get more further into pregnancy, please let me know down below. I wasn't expecting any of these to happen, or at least not on the scale that they have. So yeah, let me know if you've experienced any of these. I'm sure you have, but also as well, let me know anything that I should expect in the next couple of months before the baby gets here. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.